It's one of the star constellations.
It's like a formation.
Here. Yeah. Alright, so on January 21st, the sun becomes weak. That's why it's the shortest day of the year. But the sun goes to the south. And in the south, in our way, the south is where Naviatan, the spirit world, is. So over there, those sun dancing, all the prayer ties, they present it to the sun. They feed the sun, nourish the sun for 4 days. January 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. On the 25th, the sun begins to come back up this way. And the people a long time ago noticed around that time, around the 25th, after the 25th and on, that the people would start to fight, and they didn't know why. Especially the young men would fight each other, and they couldn't figure it out. So these 4 old men went out. So this star constellation called Chan-shah-shah, this star constellation came to them and told them, you're being part of a universal energy that you don't even know. Imagine young parents with a newborn baby teething. Imagine in the beginning they're okay. Here, now you take him. Here, you take her. Pretty soon they're getting mad because that baby won't stop crying because she's teething. They don't have no medicine to give that baby. Pretty soon they're getting mad at each other because that baby won't stop crying. That's just a baby. This, on December 25th, when the sun becomes strong, Mother Earth begins to teeth. And she's crying, hurting because she's teething. All the roots and the grasses are going to start to grow. So she's teething. And it affects, that universal energy affects all of the young men. And then look at a perfect example. December 21st, homicide in Pine Ridge. Man killed a woman. 2 days later, 4 men killed another young man. And then just with this thing with those young men, then I heard of a young lady getting shot by her boyfriend in Rapid 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So you take those things. So these 4 old men asked Wichasha Ipusie, what do we do? What do we do to get our young men out, away from this energy? And he told them to pick Chan-shah-shah, because picking Chan-shah-shah and peeling it and grading it, it does something. It's spiritual. Chan-shah-shah is spiritual because it's used in that sacred pipe. And it leaves a meditative state. And when you truly do it, the time, especially I done it, time flies. It calms you down. You're calm. Everything just feels good. Feels good and happy. But it took that. And it lets us know when it's that time when Orion's belt lines up. Those were the 3 old chiefs. Orion's belt. And Wichakbe Tokahe would point to where the sun was going to come up. So, in those 4 days is the only time they perfectly line up. On the 25th, then that star starts to move. They start to break their formation. You can't see it anymore because the sun is now at full strength. And it makes you realize whose story. Because we had star constellation for over 50,000 years. You know, our teepee rings, our teepee dials that they found up in the Black Hills that would tell of these stars, and that's just one of them. That's only one of them that I'm talking about. They found those teepee rings, Carbon dated in them. They're 52,000 years old. Those rings, and it's crazy, but that's one of them, and it's called Chan-shah-shah ibusie. And it's lets you know it's a time to pick Chan-shah-shah. And the reason why you hear people say you don't pick Chan-shah-shah after the thunder comes back, because it's bad, it's bitter, it's not good. But really the reason of that, because the star constellation, the reason why you don't, it's not that you can't. You can if you want to. It's you don't have to, because the Wakia's first rainstorm is the ambassa on the baby's teeth to calm her down. So that kills that universal energy. So that takes that away. So that's that relief. That relief. So, and if you look at Orion's belt, especially those three, about a couple years ago, I was at John Roundham Sweat Lodge, his son's sweat lodge, and I was looking at Orion's belt, and I was thinking, in Christianity and all of the thing, where did the Christmas tree come from? Where did it come from? And then I looked again at Orion's belt, and I realized Orion's belt is the trunk of the tree, because you could almost see the perfect outline of a Christmas tree that even comes up like this to Orion's belt, and you see all those little stars. So I thought, maybe that's where they got that part. That's just my idea.
Because at that time of the year.
Yeah, because it looks like those stars are the lights that they put on the tree. And that's where I got that idea was made. Because I still don't know. Do any of you know where
the only thing I ever heard was that it's evergreen, so it stays green all year. So the sun, if the days are getting shorter, so they would use that tree because it stays green and it doesn't lose its leaves. Yeah. And then they put those lights on it because they want the sun to come back stronger.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
And at that time, the time of year, it makes that formation though.
Yeah. It's crazy. It was cool because we were down at the sweat the other night, and it was during that time, and you could just see it. It's clear that night. You could just see it all lined up.
Yeah, last night I saw that.
Yeah.
It's like they're almost there.
Yeah. It's perfectly in line, but that bottom one's just a little bit over this way now. Yeah.
And it just moves. We went to the you have to go to LA to the observatory. You ever been?
Huh?
Oh, I want to go with you. Oh, you will. It is unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
Telescopes.
We went. Was that last year or 2 years? 2 years ago. We went, and I would literally like almost wreck because that star was like moving, and I felt like it was talking to me.
Yeah.
And so I look it up. I'll say what star is in the what direction, and I'll say at the time, and it'll come up on your phone. Anytime you want to know what anything is, just type that in, and it'll come up, and it's like a star map, app or website, and there's it's a what do you call it? A galaxy, I think, called Capella. I almost named her that.
Really?
Because I was pregnant with her, and that star just was always, and I would tell these guys, look at it, man. I said, it's just moving. It's moving. And they're like, Mom, it's just a satellite. Oh, it's just an airplane. They just tease me. I'm like, no, they're talking to me. I swear. Yeah, and it's real brilliant.
It's called Capella.
Capella. It's its own galaxy. I think galaxy.
Man, me and you think about my dog out here is named after one of these. In one of the first recorded languages You know, and where you're going back years and years. And it was in, where is it? In the Middle East somewhere. For a creator, they called him. And it's real similar to ours. You know, and it makes me think of the Stonies up there. They call the creator Ademu. Ademu. So, to remind me that when I had that dog, he was a puppy, so I wanted to remember that's what they call it. In ours is Ate. Ate, but really, Lakota is a break off of Dakota. And
Dakota is the first one?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's Ade. Ade.
Ade.
So, and Ademu, and then Dakota, Ade. Like,
It's all connected.
it's all connected.
We're all from. I always say I'm from this star. You know.
Yeah.
I always point. I'm from that one. It's right by Orion's Belt.
Yeah.
I'm from right here.
Yeah.
That's where I come from, this world.
Yeah.
My friend Katsia, I always tell her, so we're here from the same planet. We're here from the same starship. We're star sisters, we say.
Did you guys go out and have a cigarette on me? And